over to you.
Thank you, Judy. With that, we'll call order the council meeting for June 13th, and I'll pass it over to Councillor Hall to do the land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Mayor Caniff. We acknowledge that we are on the lands of the Anishinaabe Nation. This spot where we gather is the traditional land of the Three Fires Confederacy, the Ottawa, Potawatomi, and Ojibwe. We also recognize that this land is now home to the Delaware Nation. This land was settled through the McKee Purchase Treaty of 1790, and we as beneficiaries of the treaty must recognize our responsibilities, including our collective responsibilities to the land and the water.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. There's no supplementary agenda item this evening, and I have not heard of any pecuniary interest, direct or indirect, for the open session agenda items. So we'll pass it over to planning to Anthony.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Mayor Caniff. The process to be followed for each application will be as follows. The clerk will announce each individual planning item. The clerk will advise if any written submissions have been received regarding a planning item. If so, the clerk will read the submissions that have been received. For any items where a written submission is received, the administration will proceed with the presentation. Council will then be asked if it has any questions of the administration or the applicant if present. Council will be asked what action it wishes to take with regard to the item. Notice: if any person or public body that files an appeal of a decision of council in respect of the proposed applications does not make a written submission to the municipal clerk before the proposal is approved, they are not entitled to appeal a decision to the Ontario Land Tribunal if otherwise eligible, unless in the opinion of the tribunal, there are reasonable grounds to add the person or public body as a party to the appeal. Information on council's actions tonight will be posted on the municipal website. All persons who have made a request or who have made a submission regarding a particular planning item will receive a notice of council's decisions, including appeal procedures. Any other person who wishes to receive a notice of the decision must submit a written request to the municipal clerk. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll start with 10A, application for zoning bylaw amendment 236-8523 Ontario Limited, 10078 Longwoods Road, community of Chatham Township, North Kent. We do not have any pecuniary interest. We have not received any deputation, and the agent is on the line.
Councillor Foss and Councillor McGrail, can I get you to move this, please?
I'll be glad to move it.
Mr. Mayor, Councillor Foss is having some technical difficulties, so IT is working with him.
Okay, Councillor Bondi, can you second that, please? Councillor Scott, you're going to get you to second that, please.
So seconded, Mayor Caniff.
Any questions? Seeing none, we'll put it to vote.
All votes are in. Motion passes 17-0. 10B, application for consent and zoning bylaw amendment. Jerry and Janice Gothian, 12608 Evergreen Line, community of Camden, East Kent. There are no deputations that have been received on this item.
Councillor Pinsino and Councillor Wright, can I get you to move this, please?
Happy to move that, Your Worship.
Glad to second it. Thank you.
Any questions? Seeing none, we'll put it to vote.
It looks like all votes are in, Mr. Mayor. The vote is 16-0, but it looks like Councillor Solomon has his hand up and maybe has declared a conflict as he may have abstained.
Councillor Solomon?
There we go. Yeah, I tried to put my hand up before the vote, but apparently didn't get recognized. I do not act for the Gothans on this application, but I do on some other matters, at least one of them. So I wanted to declare a conflict before, and I voted, I abstained on this vote.
Okay, noted. Thank you, Councillor Solomon.
Can't get my hand down here, though. There we go.
Great, so that one passed 16-0. 10C, applications for consent and zoning bylaw amendment, Marlon and Bertha Weber, 21064 Erie Street South, Community of Wheatley, West Kent. There are no pecuniary interests, there are no deputations, and the agent is on the call.
Councillor Oche and Councillor Harrigan, could you each move this, please?
So moved.
And seconded.
Any questions? Seeing none, we'll put it to vote.
Just waiting for one more. Okay, all votes are in. Motion passes 16-0. The next application is 10D, application for zoning bylaw amendment. Gary and Sherry Dawson, 127 and 129 Sheldon Ave, Community of Chatham City. There are no pecuniary interest. I do have one deputation and the agent is on the call. And I'll read the deputation now. To whom it may concern, I am writing to express my opposition to the proposed development at 127 and 129 Sheldon Ave. I feel that this will cause more traffic and take away from the neighborhood. I am not opposed to multifamily dwellings as I have never complained about the existing building. I do not feel that a bylaw change is in the interest of this part of the neighborhood. I am realistic enough to understand that this is likely a done deal, but I did want to express my opposition to this building. Yours truly, Barbara Harris, 62 Ottawa Drive, Chatham, Ontario, owner of 62 Brock Street.
Anthony Joss, do you have a brief presentation for us, please?
Yes, thank you, Mayor Caniff. Administration has received an application for zoning bylaw amendment concerning property located at the southeast corner of Sheldon Avenue and Brock Street in the community of Chatham City. The property, it's a residential property, contains a structure that's contains 3 residential units, so it's considered a triplex. The property has driveway access off Brock Street and Sheldon Avenue. Property is also located within an established residential area that's made up of low density, medium density, and high density residential uses. The proposal is the owner is looking to construct a new detached garage in the rear yard of the subject property, with the intent of having a secondary dwelling unit on the second floor of the garage. Chatham-Kent zoning bylaw does permit such a use in an accessory building, only accessory to a single detached dwelling, a semi-detached dwelling, a row house dwelling unit. So in this case, it's not permitted as of right because the structure that exists in the property is considered a triplex. So the zoning bylaw amendment is intending to rezone the property to a site-specific residential low-density third zone, and that's to permit a secondary dwelling unit within an accessory structure, or that is accessory to a triplex, and it's also to deal with some zoning regulations that would not be met by the accessory structure, in particular lot coverage for the accessory structure and height. Overall, the proposal is consistent with the intent of the official plan. And so before council is a recommendation that zoning bylaw amendment application file D14C 2722D in part of lot 9, plan 305 in the community of Chatham City to change the zoning of the subject property to residential low density third, exception 1613, to increase maximum lot coverage for an accessory structure from 10% to 14%, to increase the maximum height of an accessory building from 5 meters to 7 meters, and to permit a secondary dwelling within a detached structure ancillary to a triplex dwelling be approved and the implementing bylaw be adopted. I'm open to any questions the council may have. Thank you.
Councillor B. McGregor and Councillor Finn, can I get you to move this, please?
So moved.
So seconded.
Any questions? Hearing none, we'll put it to vote.
All votes are in. Motion passes 16-0. 10E, application for consent and zoning bylaw amendment. William Nixon and Stuart Farron, 12539 Clark Street, Community of Howard, East Kent. There are no pecuniary interests, no deputations, and the agent is on the call.
Councillor Wright and Councillor Pinsonneau, can I get you to move this, please?
Make a motion to move that. Thank you.
And I'll second that, your worship.
Any questions? Hearing none, we'll put it to vote.
All votes are in. Motion passes 16-0. And the final planning application for this evening, applications for consent and zoning bylaw amendment, Todd and Tracy Loop, 136 Middleton Line, Community of Wheatley, West Kent. There are no pecuniary interest, no deputations, and the agent is on the call.
Councillor Harrigan and Councillor Oche, can I get you to move this, please?
Yes, Mayor Kenneth, happy to do so.
Second.
Any questions? Hearing none, we'll put it to vote.
All votes are in and motion passes 17-0. Mr. Mayor, with regards to deputations on items on the current agenda, there are no deputations this evening, and therefore we'll move to 12, Community Development, Imagine Chatham-Kent, a proposal to redevelop the downtown Chatham Centre site.
I'll pass it over to Bruce McAllister.
Thank you, Your Worship. Bruce McAllister, General Manager of Community Development here at the municipality. Just as a bit of background, last spring it was announced that a group of local investors had purchased the downtown Chatham Centre. And then on June 28th of last year, Council directed administration to prepare a report regarding options for relocation or redevelopment of municipal assets, including but not limited to the Civic Centre, as part of the plans to redevelop the downtown Chatham Centre property. Shortly afterwards, administration issued a survey on behalf of the local investors group to solicit ideas from the public and how the DCC site can be developed for future use. Subsequent to this public engagement, the investors collectively referred to now as the community partners in the Imagine Chatham-Kent proposal, then commissioned an architectural firm to prepare a preliminary design concept for the redevelopment of the DCC site at their cost, with some input from administration on the specifications. We are now at the stage where the community partners group would like to share a video presentation of their proposal to council and the public. Tonight, administration is recommending that the presentation and additional information then be posted on our Let's Talk website for further public feedback, and that further due diligence work be undertaken by administration and reported back to council. With us tonight virtually, we have Rob Myers, Pete Sarimbis, Jessica Sarimbis, Ron Neidham, Don Tatro, and Jim Bullock, who make up the community partners group. They will now share a video presentation on the Imagine Chatham-Kent proposal.
Let's look towards the future of Chatham-Kent. Chatham-Kent has the potential to be a community that's synonymous with innovation, collaboration, and accessibility. A community that adopts innovation, positivity, and makes strategic investments for the betterment of all its citizens. A community that is unified. Chatham-Kent deserves a downtown that inspires us, that elevates us. A place to make memories with friends and loved ones. A place to explore and learn. One that visitors will want to revisit. Chatham-Kent needs to become a place to invest and reinvest in, a community that will compete with other surrounding city centers. The future of Chatham-Kent depends on what we do in the present, what we do right now. The best way for Chatham-Kent to predict its future is to create it. In the 1980s, downtown Chatham was a vibrant and bustling destination. Then, the Downtown Chatham Center was constructed and experienced some success through the 80s and 90s. However, over the past 20 years, like most small-town shopping centers in Canada, it's become uninspiring and deserted. Change is upon us. Change is here today. The future belongs to us. Right now, we have the opportunity to build a new, state-of-the-art, interactive, and accessible library for everyone to enjoy. We have the opportunity to build a new civic center where services can be easily accessed in one central location, where the citizens of Chatham-Kent can be seen and heard. We have the opportunity to build a new museum, art gallery, a library that will inspire, educate, and entertain all members of our community. A beautiful resource that communicates and celebrates Chatham-Kent's rich heritage and history. Accessible, affordable, modern facilities. You deserve better. We deserve better. Our current library, art gallery, museum, and civic center are outdated and lifeless. These facilities reflect our past, not our present or our future. The unavoidable costs for repairs to these facilities are all estimated to be in the tens of millions of dollars and will only be patchwork on our already aging and outdated infrastructure. The people of Chatham-Kent deserve to be able to step into the present and prepare for the future. Introducing a new vision, a new dream for downtown Chatham, a reimagined downtown core designed with every CK citizen in mind. A community hub and entertainment complex that will level up downtown Chatham and help bring Chatham-Kent as a whole into the future, where entertainment, education, culture, accessible resources, and experience-based businesses thrive, motivate, and stimulate. The community hub will be CK's new library, art gallery, museum, and civic center. It will be a flexible use space meant to replace the current aging municipal facilities and be available on a turnkey basis when construction is completed, saving millions of dollars in construction costs, time, and business interruption. This design will bring many municipal amenities to one central location and will be designed with modern accessibility and inclusivity practices at the forefront. It will showcase CK's rich history, where our agricultural roots are highlighted, where our Black history is seen and celebrated, and where our local heroes such as Chief Tecumseh, Fergie Jenkins, and our veterans incorporated into the hub will be a large promenade and public square with a flexible open space to accommodate various outdoor activities and events. The community hub will truly be an accessible civic space that all residents of Chatham-Kent can enjoy and be proud of. Leveling up, the second phase entertainment complex will see the downtown Chatham Center redeveloped into a modern multi-use community recreational facility using land donated by the community partners. Save your gas money and travel time. Chatham-Kent will have local access to brand new, interactive, and accessible entertainment experiences that are affordable to all. The Chatham-Kent Community Hub and Entertainment Complex is a leap forward in Chatham-Kent's efforts to increase youth retention, giving young adults a great reason to stay, while providing employment and lifestyle opportunities for existing CK residents. The CK Community Hub and Entertainment Complex will be a place where memories will be made. Memories rooted right here in Chatham-Kent. The entertainment complex will be a flexible use space that will include a multi-use arena, rock climbing wall, indoor soccer and basketball facilities, pickleball courts, a roller derby track, flex space for farmers markets, festivals, concerts, tournaments, and much, much more. It's something for everyone.
Good day, citizens of Chatham-Kent. I'm here to talk about the future of Chatham-Kent and what we can do over the next 5 years. It'll be amazing for Chatham-Kent. You know, several months ago, a friend of mine told me about this bowling alley in Blenheim that was done in the 60s, and we thought what a great idea it would be to buy the Blenheim bowling alley and give it life and rebirth. We believe it'll be great for families, for my grandchildren, for your children, for senior citizens. And we love Blenheim. We love Chatham-Kent. So whether it's in Chatham, whether it's in Blenheim, whether it was been in Dresden, it's a fun thing that the entire Chatham-Kent will enjoy in the future. You know, I've met a lot of folks in the last 12 months because of our purchasing of the Navistar property that sat empty for years. And we've got amazing things that are going to happen in Navistar, and we're hoping to create several thousand jobs over the next 3 to 5 years and redevelop that entire parcel of land. We've noticed when people come to Chatham-Kent, they're looking around and saying, what is there to do in Chatham-Kent? And today, with an old arena, an old city hall, and some of the things that we don't have to offer, we're trying to make happen in Chatham-Kent. Navistar will be an amazing project for Chatham-Kent, and I believe the DDC will be the same. But we need to invest in our city, and we're hoping that we get the council on board, as I've spoken to most of you folks over the last 12 months, and I have said to you that I wanted you to hear from the horse's mouth that we purchased the downtown shopping center. We purchased 85 acres of Navistar that was derelict. We're cleaning that up. We're going to make jobs in Chatham-Kent. We make a future in Chatham-Kent. So obviously I'm a firm believer in Chatham-Kent, and we hope that we can get you all to participate in the rebirth of Chatham-Kent. It'll be something that changes this area over the next 50 or 100 years. So let's invest.
The economic spin-off of once again having a thriving downtown would be a game changer. Getting people visiting, dining, and spending in our downtown core again. It will attract new residents and talent to fill the current labor shortage, creating new jobs during the building phase, with as much of the work as possible being done by local contractors.
I was born in CK, grew up on the farm, raised my family in CK, and built my business right here off the 401. Today I'm focused on creating opportunities for employment in Chatham on our Navistar site and in downtown Chatham.
Using local labor whenever possible is extremely important to us. We live in Chatham-Kent, we build in Chatham-Kent, we invest in Chatham-Kent, and we believe in Chatham-Kent.
Second phase of this project includes a complete redesign and restoration of the historic King Street facades. This will include bespoke storefronts designed to bring King Street back to its once beautiful state and provide roughly 15,000 square feet of on-street boutique, retail, and experience-based businesses that will offer a modern take on the downtown experience. We're going to build this with accessibility in mind, community in mind, and the future in mind. Chatham-Kent, we're going to build this together.
This project is proudly presented by a group of community partners, including Rob Myers, Pete and Jessica Sarimbas, Ron Neidham, Don Tatro, and Jim Bullock. This group has been investing in Chatham-Kent for decades, all with the goal of improving and modernizing the community. They've invested more than money into this community and project. They've invested passion, hard work, time, and hope. Most importantly, they believe in CK.
This is about so much more than a construction project. This is more than new stores and new buildings. This is about giving life to our community. This is about providing opportunities. This is about the future of Chatham-Kent.
We bought the mall just over a year ago, and since then we've been listening. Through various forms of public consultation, our group has learned a lot about what CK locals want and what CK is missing. We've read through thousands of emails, texts, online surveys, social media comments, DMs, and sat on many special interest and task force group meetings, even conversations in the grocery aisle. Our proposal captures many of the suggestions and recommendations made by so many of you, CK residents. What I find most interesting is in doing so, as a collaborated effort, we stumbled upon something very special. The Community Hub Entertainment Complex and renewed historic King Street facade development is something super special to CK. It's innovative, one of a kind, and unique to us. The incredible team effort between our group, the municipality, and locals alike show just how powerful working together can be. The result will undoubtedly be something that our entire community will be proud of for generations to come.
This is about the future of Chatham-Kent.
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 This is about the future of Chatham-Kent. Let's work together and make this reality.
Okay, I'll go to Councillor Sakachi and Councillor Crew to move the motion for that's put forward to us tonight.
Hello, Mayor Caniff. More than happy to move this motion.
Thank you, and I'm more than happy to second it.
All right, I'll go to Councillor Sakachi and then I'll go to Councillor Bondi.
Thank you, Your Worship. It's absolutely impossible to watch that video without getting goosebumps and just understanding the excitement and hype that potential for our community. First and foremost, I want to thank the community partners and administration for all the diligence that went into this effort. You can already hear the buzz in our community, and it's just it's fantastic. And I'm sure with the pedigree involved in this potential project that the ceiling is just unimaginable. Mayor Caniff, I just wanted to briefly ask Mr. McAllister, just for a quick comment. So with the current recommendations, there is a little bit of confusion in regards to the kind of what we're actually passing today. So Mr. McAllister, is it just possible for people who haven't read the report just to kind of give a little overview? Like, we are still doing our due diligence in regards to, ensuring that we are looking at our current assets. We will be assessing those current assets from the strategic reserve, and we will be basically manufacturing all the community consultation and bringing it back. So this is kind of like the trailer to the potential movie. Is that a good assessment?
Thank you, Your Worship. That's a very good assessment, Councillor Sakachi. After tonight, we will publish a Let's Talk page on our website tomorrow specific to this proposal. That'll be, it'll house this video again for those that obviously we may not have seen it tonight, and there'll be a number of frequently asked questions that we've prepared on there to help answer people's questions, and then the ability to provide additional consultation and feedback. We were hoping to leave that open until July 15th, Friday, July 15th, for approximately a month, and then we'll come back to council with those results. The second piece of it is, we do want to continue on with some additional due diligence. We're looking to get certified appraisals done in our current assets, and fully look at the business case going forward for this proposal and report back to council. Hope that answers your questions.
Absolutely, Mr. McAllister. I just wanted to ensure that people who haven't had the opportunity to read the report, understood the fact that, this is the beginning of the process. And I can't really put into words the excitement that I have to even, be just discussing this and how lucky we are as a community. And really wanted to thank the community partners, Mayor Caniff and administration for all the work that's went into this, and very, very happy to be moving this, and as well as supporting this fully. Thank you.
Councillor Bondi, followed by Councillor C. McGregor.
Thank you, Mayor Caniff. I guess I share Councillor Sakachi's enthusiasm for a number of reasons. This is a proven team. I've known many of these people for many years. One guy, Jim Bullock, is probably the only unknown. And I've dealt with Jim. Jim was the president of Cadillac Fairview. The experience that runs through this group should make everybody confident and give everybody a lot of comfort that this is going to happen. So there's that. The best part of this is that we've got a guy in Mr. Myers and Pete and Jessica, Ron. They've, if you're old enough, you don't have to be that old, but if you can remember the east end of King Street years ago, when it was the Merrill Hotel, and see what it is today, we all know what it is today, which is the retro suites and the chilled court. That was accomplished almost from the ashes. If that can be done, then we should have full confidence that this, obviously much larger project will be done successfully. It'll be done prudently. I think it's a win for the municipality, the entire municipality. Obviously it's great for downtown Chatham, but the entire community of Chatham-Kent will benefit from this. We have a downtown which is, had its fair share of challenges and struggles over the years, well, the west end of it. And we have an opportunity as council and as a community as a whole to take advantage of the generosity of this group. They don't have to do this, right? This is, I think, obviously they're very passionate about it. And we should, as a community, be thankful and embrace it, because I don't think this will ever happen again, where this opportunity to transform our once illustrious downtown back to being probably one of the coolest downtowns in southwestern Ontario. It's doable. It's not a big downtown. It's on the river. We've got Tecumseh Park. We've got the Armories. We've got the retro suites. We've got the beautiful Sony Row building, et cetera, et cetera. So this just completes our downtown. Without some sort of transformation of the mall, the DCC downtown, I think, is relatively running, the wrong way up a mountain, because the mall is such a huge block and it seems difficult to resurrect, but we've just seen the plan and I fully support it. And I hope everybody on council, and from what I've heard, and people like to complain, maybe just to me, I don't know, maybe I just got that complain to me sticker on my forehead, but this is one of those things that I've heard from a lot of people, not times, but and I've had zero, and that's a first in 12 years on council, zero negative feedback. The only thing I've heard is, the report's a little scant on details. Well, that's what we're here for tonight, is to move this forward, to get those details. So we're where we should be. So I hope that council supports it. I certainly do. I know the public that I've spoken with support it. And, 5 years from now or less, these guys seem to, move pretty quickly, efficiently. We could be there, and we could have what I really do think will be one of the kind of coolest downtowns in Southern Ontario, or maybe Central Ontario for that matter. The plan partnered with the rest of what will happen in downtown, because the success of this and the transformation of the mall, that enthusiasm will spill into the rest of the downtown core. And that's a great thing. So I'm in full support, and thank you for your time, Mayor Caniff.
Councillor C. McGregor, followed by Councillor Harrigan.
Thank you. And through the Mayor, I'll try not to repeat some of what's been said, because you have a long list, but I just wanted to say that I'm very impressed with this and moving forward with this. I don't think I've seen a better opportunity for public-private combination and for our community, and to work and move forward and bring a new future for Chatham-Kent. The spin-off that will happen for all of Chatham-Kent will be just amazing, because when people come to visit, often they tour around, and we have so much to offer in Chatham-Kent. This is just an anchor for visitors to come, and even for people within Chatham-Kent to be able to go and enjoy what we have within Chatham-Kent. So I have my full support here to move forward with this motion tonight, and to get us more information and do proper consultation. And I look forward to seeing the reports that come back to council. So I'd like to thank Rob Myers and crew for their belief in investing in Chatham-Kent, and I have full confidence that that their decisions are very well thought out, and that they wouldn't be doing this if they didn't think that this was a really good prospect for Chatham-Kent, and not just Chatham, for Chatham-Kent, for all of us. So thank you for the opportunity to express my thoughts, Mayor Caniff.
Councillor Harrigan, followed by Councillor Oche.
Great. Thank you, Mayor Kenneth. I too would just like to share that I'm really excited about this. I think there is really no better vision for community than the business leaders and participants in that community. And what we're seeing here is something that was really intentionally done in terms of engaging with council and community groups and other leaders, and then demonstrating that engagement as part of this public-private partnership. I don't know if they're questions for today, but maybe I will just share them, Bruce, for you and team, and they could be incorporated in the report. The first is the uniqueness of the turnkey element within the proposal. I would like to see more about what that looks like, and maybe as council we could we'll understand more in time around what sort of details or elements we can expect, and if that's going to happen ahead of time. I imagine it would. And then, and so perhaps that's just a request for it to be in the information report on the 8th. And then also, I was really intrigued by the staff's comments in the report showcasing how this initiative is in line with other strategic plans, like, for example, the library strategic plans or other planning documents. I think it would be valuable for both council and members of public to see where there is intersection and where this initiative does support strategic plans that we already have in place and goals that we already have in place as a community. Because certainly there's alignment with our own council strategic priorities. And I can see just from looking at it that there's alignment with other areas. But from a transparency perspective, I feel like that's really, really important. So Bruce, I don't know if you can comment on whether or not we can expect to see more of that detail on the report on the 8th.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, most definitely, Councillor Harrigan. That's the intent of the next report, to provide further details on the things you described there, for sure.
Fabulous. And again, just echoing, thanks to the group who are bringing this forward for this partnership. I think it is really exciting to see energy and revitalization brought back into our communities, and really looking forward to where this will take us. Thank you.
Councillor Oche, followed by Councillor Pinsonneau.
Thank you, Your Worship. I guess one of the biggest questions, and not just to myself, but also all over the social media, when will we know the cost of this complex? And also, I'm hoping to know how, if it's going to be a lease to own or how this is going to work. Will that be brought forward August 8th?
Thank you again, Your Worship. Yeah, the intent is to undertake further due diligence in the next several weeks and get back to council, what we can at that stage of this process, including a comparison of capital estimates. We want to review again, some of the dollars that would be required to upgrade our existing facilities. I know in our report we shared there's been past reports to council on what those costs might look like. And then the other details of the actual framework of the proposal in terms of how the community partners propose to convey the parcels to the municipality. We'll detail that as well. It is laid out, in the front part of the report in simple terms. Just maybe for the context of the community that hasn't read the report. So the proposal is to redevelop the former Sears portion of the downtown Chatham Centre into the community hub piece and promenade under the terms and sale to the municipality. As part of that, the existing parking garage would be included under the terms of that sale as well. So that's another key aspect, I think, of this proposal. There is a significantly existing parking structure already constructed on the site, that would cost significant dollars if it had to be built today. The other piece is a redevelopment of what essentially is the old mall portion, or most of the old mall portion. That would be for the purpose of the entertainment complex. Again, that would be under terms of sale to the municipality as well. The other aspects would be retained by the community partners for the private, commercial and residential aspects of this proposal, what they refer to as phase 3 in the King Street frontage. So I hope that gives a bit of an overview of the context of how this proposal is framed right now.
Through your worship, back to Bruce. Bruce, for this, I know this is all early on. Would we be trying to get grants from the other two levels of government for this as well?
Yeah, we're researching that as well, Your Worship. That would be part of the the further due diligence into this as well.
Thank you very much, and I do want to thank the gentleman and young lady that brought this forward. This it does look awesome. I certainly hope we can work with them to make this happen. Thank you.
Councillor Pincinel, followed by Councillor Thompson.
Thank you, Worship. Yeah, I definitely want to see what this proposal comes back with. And obviously it does need to be affordable to the municipal tax base. And as it's already been said, this is an amazing group. The things they've done. Mr. Myers has definitely made an improvement on the east end of King Street. And what they're doing out there at the old Navistar property is amazing. Unfortunately, this mall, it has run its course. It's down to not too many stores left in there. And it does have to see a new path. And the way I see it right now, we're spending $50,000 just to see what can happen with this dead space. And that money is coming from strategic reserves. And that's what that money is placed there for. So I will support going on to the next stage here and seeing what it brings. Thank you.
Councillor Thompson, followed by Councillor McGrail.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I'm not going to belabor the points that have already been brought up. I think it's a fantastic opportunity. Really excited to see this when it was presented and enjoyed the video too. I do think that this is as they alluded to, a generational decision, one that lasts 50 to 100 years at the very least. And I think when something like that comes along, something that transformative, that we do need to plan thoroughly and carefully, because every one of us here in Chatham-Kent will own this, even Chatham-Kent residents that haven't been born yet. So I'm looking forward to a robust public consultation system and process, looking forward to learning a whole lot more about the nitty-gritty details and issues behind the whole proposal before we sign off on this. And my question that has been posed to me the most is when do we think the final go, no-go vote will come to a council? What is the timeline for that? Because some people thought we were making a decision tonight, and others, I think, rightly understood that this is the first step.
Thank you, Your Worship. At this point, we're just not in a position to estimate when, the actual final no vote would occur. We'll continue to work towards that and provide council and the public with, updated information as we go here and, report back as we suggested next on August 8th.
Excellent. And this, that is fine. And that's totally fair, Bruce. I appreciate that. When we talk about, this Let's Talk Chatham-Kent's going live tomorrow with a status update, that's not the end of the public consultation, right? That's really just the beginning, like you said.
That's what I anticipate as well, Councillor, and we'll continue to update this page as we go along as well. And, people have questions, we'll continue to update those frequently asked questions. And I think this will be a, living consultation page going forward with this project where people can turn to, right? And then we'll take from direction from council in the future as to kind of next steps.
Excellent. I look forward to supporting it at this juncture. I want to say thank you to everybody who's had a hand in bringing this forward, and really looking forward to playing my small part as well. Thank you.
Councillor McGrail, followed by Councillor Crew.
Thank you, Mayor Caniff. So again, I'm going to say, like everybody else, I'm excited about this and the prospect of, revitalization and bringing Chatham-Kent to the forefront. As this was announced, I did get some questions, and I think this needs to be addressed in the report coming forward. Can you please talk and outline how this project is not going to affect roads and other infrastructure, and that people's roads will still be fixed and won't be fixed because of this project and money being taken away from other aspects or areas within the municipality. But that's about the only thing I have, and I look forward to this, the next step. Thank you.
Councillor Crew, followed by Councillor Latimer.
Thank you, Mayor Caniff, again, and I think that everyone is going to echo the gratitude that we have to this group of believers in Chatham-Kent, because I don't think we can say it enough. The past investment and the future investment, we have had a pretty rough term of council with COVID and Wheatley and shoreline issues that we've had. This is just a breath of fresh air, and it has created a buzz that I have not, I think Councillor Bondi said it, most of the people that usually complain about things like this are excited. So I'm excited as well. I want to thank you, that team, for being believers. I'm a Monkey fan, so I'm a believer too. And I can't wait to see the end result. Thank you.
Councillor Latimer, followed by Councillor Kirkwood-White.
Actually, Councillor Crew took words right out of my mouth as a fellow monkey who believes. So thanks very much to all. And I did already send my appreciation to this business partners. I can't think of a better public-private initiative to end our term in council and begin the next. Thanks again.
Councillor Kirkwood-White.
Thank you, Your Worship. At this juncture, it might just be easier for me to say ditto, but I too would like to thank the local entrepreneurs who have devoted their time and expertise to create this really exciting opportunity for our local constituents to consider, and for investing in their home community when they didn't have to. When I first saw the drawings, I was excited about the possibilities for downtown revitalization. I will be supporting the recommendation to undertake consultation now and to allocate funds for initial due diligence. And I will look forward to the report on August the 8th. Thank you, Your Worship.
Tony Ladd.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just wanted to add a couple of comments for the benefit of council that since this project was first introduced to the administration at CK, we have put together a project team that is being led by Bruce McAllister and is comprised of members of our executive management team as well as the senior management team to prepare to conduct the due diligence should council support this initiative going forward, and to address the various components that are going to be necessary to populate the report coming back to council targeted for August the 8th. This is certainly an exciting and unique opportunity that driven by the private sector, which is somewhat unique for municipalities where the private sector has taken the initiative to bring such a proposal forward. And it is an ideal public-private partnership opportunity for the municipality to consider. And as has been mentioned, this project does have multi-generational benefits and potential should it go forward and with the completion of all the phases, and certainly represents a significant investment, not only by the private sector investors, but also by the municipality of Chatham-Kent as it relates to the future disposition of existing assets that we own in terms of the facilities referenced as the Civic Center, the library, the museum, and the Memorial Arena, as opposed to starting fresh, bringing renewed assets into the community and repurposing those other facilities for other purposes that would be complementary and supplementary to the asset base in the downtown Chatham-Kent. So just those comments for council's information, and we look forward to your direction this evening.
Thanks, everyone. I'll just toss in a few comments as well. We really can't underestimate the growth this project's going to drive, not just downtown, but across the municipality. That we are in competition with every municipality in Ontario right now, and we know we need more people here. And there's attraction and retention benefits going to happen here. I know that this has made news right across Ontario. Chatham-Kent has been noted right now to say that what we're investing in, what we're looking to invest in. Looking back at the KPMG study back 8 months ago, they recommended Chatham-Kent, you have too many buildings. We have a lot of old buildings. We need to consolidate them. When you look at what the school boards have done in Chatham, they've took 3 old schools and put into one brand new one. If anybody's had the opportunity to see the McNaughton School of what they've done there, they've taken, and it's state-of-the-art facility. They had 3 old schools. They created one state-of-the-art, offering great programs, etc. The buildings downtown will be repurposed, and not sure exactly what's going to happen with them, but if I was to hazard a guess, a lot of them be residential properties, the library, the civic center, a couple opportunities there to put more people working or living downtown. I look at this as a model for other communities as well. When we look at the KPMG study, we're consolidating a number of buildings here, but I look at the same opportunity in other communities in Chatham-Kent that we can look and take some older buildings and do some great things in those communities as well. This is kind of the starting point for it. It creates efficient operations. And can't emphasize enough the unique opportunity within CK with the local people taking the lead in this. That this in Ontario, a lot of the municipalities would just love to see something like this happening with the individuals and the partnership that we're looking at. So as we move forward, you're going to have 2 options. It's going to be do nothing or build this facility. It's going to be simple, either turn left or turn right. But I don't want anybody thinking that do nothing is a cost-free option. As we move forward, as we showed the facilities that we need to put significant dollars into the facilities that we have now. So as we look across that's what we're looking at. And that's what's going to make this an economical thing to do. So it's going to end up being you either, like a car choice, you can fix up an old car and have your old car, or you can go buy a brand new one. And that's what these economics are going to look at and saying, we're going to have a brand new facility versus spending a lot of money in old facilities. And we have to factor in all the incremental benefits we're going to have from this. So as we proceed on with this, I know I'm super excited about it, and I've heard from many, many people, and I really want to thank the individuals that have stepped up here. They're making Chatham-Kent a pretty amazing place. So thanks for that, and seeing no other questions, we'll put it to vote.
All votes are in, and motion passes 18-0.
All right, we'll move on to item 13, Chief Administrative Office.
Chief Administrative Officer appointment.
Councillor Kirkwood-White and Councillor Latimer, can I get you to move this, please?
Happy to move. Thank you.
And very happy to second.
Okay, any questions?
I had a couple of comments, Your Worship, if I may.
Okay, certainly. Councillor Kirkwood-White, followed by Councillor Solomon.
Just wanted to mention that I had the pleasure of meeting Michael Dubin in March of this year when he called me to inquire about the small home development on Taylor Avenue, and I was impressed then. Good news also travels in Rotary circles. I received a call this morning from a fellow Rotarian who received a telephone call from a fellow Rotarian in District 6400, which includes Rotary clubs in Windsor and Detroit. The Detroit Rotarian was so excited to learn that his good friend Michael Dubin was moving back to the area that he excused himself quickly from his Saturday morning Rotary meeting in Detroit to make the call. So there are a number of people here and outside of Chatham-Kent that are very, very pleased with this appointment.
Councillor Solomon.
Thank you, Your Worship. I also wanted to comment on the appointment itself. I think we found a good chief administrative officer in Michael Dubin. I actually interviewed him several years ago for a position, and as a part of an interview team. And the only reason we didn't hire him then was he didn't have the level of experience that he now has. It's his level of experience, both in utility, in a law firm, in three different municipalities, including Windsor, really speak well of him. And anybody who's met him also senses his energy and his intelligence and what he can bring to the table. And so what I'm also very interested in is the comments we just heard from our interim CAO, Tony Haddad, and the team that is partially being put together to look into the exciting presentation we had earlier. I didn't bother commenting because nobody likes to have somebody flapping their gums and repeating everything that's been said. But on this note, I look forward to Tony being part of that team, or not Tony, Michael being part of that team, the due diligence team, and bringing us ultimately a full report. He brings his experience both as a utility, as a CAO in 2 different locations, and unique background as a lawyer at a prominent Windsor firm. So I hope that we will see him on board as part of that whole due diligence team when we get a final report back sometime in the fall.
All right, seeing no other questions, we'll put this to vote.
All votes are in. Motion passes 17-1.
We'll go to a non-agenda business. Seeing none, we'll go to the first and second reading. Councillor Solomon, Councillor Pinsino.
I'll move first and second reading of the bylaws, Your Worship.
And I'll second it, Your Worship.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Third and final reading, Councillor Foss and Councillor Thompson.
So move, Your Worship.
And seconded.
Anyone opposed? Motion carried. We'll go to resolution council and closed session adjournment. We'll go to Councillor Latimer and Councillor Bondi. You can wrap it up for us.
Thank you. That Chatham-Kent-Council adjourned to its next meeting to be held on Monday, June 20th, 2022, and that Chatham-Kent-Council authorized itself to meet in closed session on that day to discuss any matters permitted by the Municipal Act.
And so seconded.
All right. Anyone opposed to wrapping up the meeting at 6:58 p.m.?
No.
Perfect. All right. Have a great evening, everyone.